Welcome, everybody, to the winter edition of the California Master Beekeeper Program newsletter. We have an action-packed video for you today because we're going to tell you about some free stuff. And we're also going to tell you about some new programs that we got going on as well. So you're going to want to hang in till the end of this broadcast. Kian,
Yeah,
Happy New Year.
to you too, Wendy. Thank you. We have so many program updates exciting to share. A lot of feedback from last year, a lot of improvements. We just put up the class schedule. In this video, we'll be talking about that. Fun classes about beekeeping fundamentals, the basics of beekeeping, honeybee fraud, uh, honeybee biology, anything you could think of, mead making. We have a great lineup this year of guest lectures and core curriculum classes that we're excited to share. And we'll talk about that. Also, there's a new program that is out of the El Nino Bee Lab, our parent, correct, Wendy? It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, yeah. The Bee Health Hub. I did an interview with Matt Hepfinger, so stay tuned later on in this webcast for that as well.
Awesome. Bee Health Hub. I wonder what that is. I guess we'll learn and
Mhm.
see.
Mhm.
So,
Woot woot. Yeah,
uh,
we got classes. Take us through them.
I'd love to. And so, yeah, we just put up the class schedule for this year for all the classes that camp is offering. And as I mentioned earlier, there's both guest lectures and there's core classes. Guest lectures are free for everyone, public, people in the program. Um, be sure to check them out. They are denoted as guest lectures by their course number starting with GL in the beginning. There's a screenshot here. If you want to go on our website and check out all the offerings and register for them, you want to go under classes and click on class schedule. And there's a great list of all the classes for this year. There will be likely be a few more added in the coming weeks, but most of them are up there. And this is a screenshot of that page. Talks about the course number, who's teaching it. There's a registration button too. The registration system for the classes has changed a bit. So we took a few screenshots. I'll talk a little bit about what it looks like now so everyone's kind of knows what it looks like. So if you, for example, look at the list, you see, oh, the honeybee colony. I want to learn about how bees communicate with each other. I want to take that class. I want to learn more about it. Like Kathy Hounshell, great teacher. I click register, and once you click register, it's going to take you to a page with the class details. So it's going to have more details on the exact timing. And this example is actually working your colonies, so say working your colonies. And some of the classes are remote, some of them are in person, and some of them are also hybrid, so both remote and in person. This page, when you click register, will talk about the details for that class. So if it's hybrid, like in this case, then it has details for both the remote portion and also the in-person portion. And you can choose whether if you want to do remote or in-person for the hybrid classes. So here you can see the remote class is from 9 to 12, and the in-person class is from 9 to 3:30 p.m. And that's typically how it is for most of our classes. They're on Saturdays. The remote ones are 9 to 12, and the in-person ones are at Davis from 9 to 3:30. So just an additional 3 hours. So if you scroll down further on that registration page that you're on, it's going to have the place you can register. And the place you can register only shows if you are logged in. So if you're not logged in, it's going to ask you to log in at this bottom portion of the page. Log in, and it's free to create an account, should be pretty easy. And then you can choose if it's a hybrid class, remote or in person, and click register. And if it's just remote or in person, there's just going to be a registration button because there is no choice. So you click register, and then if you have a class pass, which Wendy will be talking to us about in a second, then you don't have to pay. You'll immediately receive the invite and email confirmation, and you are all set. And if you do have to pay, then it's going to send you an invoice to your email. And upon payment to that invoice, then you're going to receive all the information, confirmation. So yeah, so feel free to check out the class schedule, which we will put down in the description, the class schedule link. Class passes, Wendy, can you share with us what those are?
Well, first of all, ask me what I liked about what you just shared. Come on, ask me.
What did you like about what I just shared, Wendy?
What I love about what you just shared was registration made simple. Yes. So excited for this ease of registration. And the other thing that I'm super psyched about is folks are getting access at no charge at the Honeybee Ambassador level, as well as Apprentice Journey and Capstone. And that's because we've instituted class passes. Class passes. Ask me what class passes are, Keon.
What are class passes? We'd love to know.
Yes, right? It's exciting. So if you are a Honeybee Ambassador, you get into all Honeybee Ambassador remote classes at no charge, which is different from last year. Last year, you were, if you're a Honeybee Ambassador, you were only entitled to go on YouTube to look at the recordings, but now you can show up live, which I think is awesome. Apprentice, you get all of the remote classes, the online classes at no extra charge, and you get to participate in the Honeybee Ambassador classes too at no charge if you like. And for Journey, you get all Journey classes remotely, as well as Apprentice and Honeybee Ambassador. And of course, if you're at the capstone level, you can watch and attend anything at no charge. Super super amazing, in my humble opinion, because you're paying for a certification. Now, all of your additional ancillary classes are available to you at no cost. So, all current classes available at no cost. The only reason why anybody needs to be paying for a class anymore is if they're choosing not to do a certificate and they just want to pop in for a one-off. So that is a class pass.
That's awesome. That is so exciting that yeah, we're expanding the ability hopefully for everyone to be able to attend at all levels. And also, so if there's more details or if someone forgets about class passes and how they work, is there a place on the website that they could go and learn a little bit more about the details of
Always,
class passes?
always, always. Website is stop number one. And tell us exactly the tab as members we need to go and check out in order to learn more about that, Keon.
Yeah, so for class passes, it is under the classes tab and then click on overview. So
Yeah,
classes overview and all the great details if you want to know more about class passes are there.
yeah, yeah. Thanks so much for cleaning up the registration system. So much easier. So grateful.
My pleasure, and thank you for working with all the instructors to schedule
Yeah.
this year.
Shout out, can we, to our instructors who are incredibly generous with their time and sharing of their knowledge. Venerable facilitators for many classes, a total of what, 34 classes this year that we're offering in the camp?
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, what a
Yeah.
diversity of
Yeah.
experiences and backgrounds. It's great.
Yeah.
Everyone brings something interesting to the table.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's something to learn every year, even with the same classes, sitting through the same classes over and over, you might think they get boring, but with the diversity of instructors,
Yeah.
it
Always more to
it's
learn.
great. Always more to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
certification, yeah,
the extensions, right?
yeah.
Of course, with rolling enrollment, we just really completed our first like 14-month experience of rolling enrollment pretty much. And we're recognizing that some folks need a little more time. So as an apprentice and a journey, you've got 18 months. As a capstone candidate, if you're toiling away on that capstone project, please note that you have 2 years. If you need more, you know who to reach out to, right? Myself or Keon. So please know that we got your back and we're here to support you to finish up your certification.
Awesome. And now we're at the events corner. And we've just scheduled all the certification program dates for this year. So what does that mean? If you're interested in getting involved in the certification program, or you're already in it, here are some useful dates for you. If you're interested in learning more about the certification program, the info session is great to attend or watch a previous recording of. We are doing 2 info sessions this year, one near the beginning, one kind of midway through. So February 7th and July 10th. And these are both Wednesdays, 7 to 8 p.m. We'd love to host you, answer any questions you have about the program and how we can support you in your beekeeping journey. Also, we have orientations. So orientations are for new candidates who have just entered the certification program at any level. And we also have that twice this year, one on February 21st and one July 24th, also Wednesdays, also 7 to 8 p.m. And if you notice, those are both about 2 weeks after the info sessions of this in the same month. So you can take the info session, see if it's right for you, get in, and then go to the live orientation the same month. So they're synchronized in that way. Office hours are available to current candidates every Wednesday, 4 to 5 p.m. If you'd like to sign up, please go to the candidates tab or the members tab, and there is a link to sign up. We'd love to answer any questions you have or any feedback, or any advice as well. We'd love to give you. And last one is the annual certification celebration. And this is super exciting because historically, since COVID started, we've been doing this remote. But this year we have the opportunity, as we've been talking about for a couple of years since I've been here, to make it hybrid. So this is going to be at UC Davis, and it's going to be 10 to 1 p.m. on a Saturday in November. And we're going to have a party. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to acknowledge all the great volunteers in the program, all the people who just got certificated. And I know I'm looking forward to it. Are you looking forward to it, Wendy?
Yeah, my gosh, just bring in the taco truck or the crepe truck or whatever, get some music going, and we just be in community. Hand out some pins, some badges, and some certificates, and just get together and be in person. Be in person. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah, yeah. And I also want to mention one more thing about office hours. If you feel that Wednesdays don't work, reach out to us. We're flexible. We can meet another day. And if you want more than a 15-minute window to chat, book 2 back to back. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. But super excited for the annual celebration on Saturday, November the 23rd from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the lab in Davis.
MBN, me too.
Good time. Yeah, we're going to be hanging out at Cal Expo too. That's going to be fun. We're doing a day in the camp at the Northern California Home and Landscape Exposition. And again, shout out, this would not be happening without the incredible support of local club volunteers. So the Sacramento and Area Beekeepers Association have stepped up in a big way, and they're helping to staff the booth that we have over the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the beginning of February. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Okay, and now I'll go through for this quarter, between this newsletter and the next newsletter, all the classes that we will be offering. There might be a few added, but this should be most of them. And remember, all these classes are also in the course catalog, which is on the website. So if you'd like to learn more details about them through there, that's a great option. And the class schedule is also a way to look at them. So Introduction to Beekeeping is happening Saturday, February 10th. That's really the second class in our class requisite chart. The first one is exploring beekeeping, which already happened this last weekend. And exploring beekeeping is really to understand if beekeeping is right for you in terms of time commitment, things like that. Introduction to beekeeping is the next one. And that really kind of gets a little bit more into the practical side, get more information about beekeeping suppliers, what you need to start thinking about in terms of purchasing, in terms of safety, in terms of also the history of honeybees as well. It's talked about a little bit. So it's really starting to get into the details of what beekeeping is going to look like for you after you decided you want to pursue this at least a little bit further to see if you want to engage in it. So 9 to 12 p.m. and remote. And the next one we have is going to be hybrid. And this is a fun one. This is planning ahead for your first hives. This is a very practical guide to help you understand what you need to prepare for your first hive. So you're going to get to learn about basics of IPM. You need to learn about all of the beekeeping equipment that you need to purchase for day one, and also for the first few months in terms of feed and things like that. Also, you're going to learn a little bit about bee biology, because in order to start hives, you need to know the basics of the castes and how bees communicate with each other. It's a very preliminary introduction to bee biology as well.
Yeah, and fun fact,
Yeah.
Dr. Alina Nino will be teaching that one. And of course, whenever we're in person at the lab, there's always great food and conversation and an opportunity to play in the bees. So yeah, in person, check it out.
And the next one we have is March 16th, and that's the honeybee colony. So that's going to talk about the details of how in a colony the bees communicate with each other, the different delegation of roles and responsibilities in terms of morphology. They will really go into a little bit about the anatomy of bees too. So yeah, if you kind of want to get a more of an understanding of how the bee colony operates as a living organism at a high level, and how those components interact with each other, this is a great course to take. And after that, we have a seasonal honeybee colony management in Southern California class. And that's going to be talking about the specific challenges in Southern California that beekeepers face that are not exclusive to Southern California. Many of the topics discussed are also experienced all over United States and the world. But a few of these topics are, for example, Scutellaria hybrids or defensive bees, and heat as well, how to manage heat with hives. And so some great opportunities to, especially if you live in Southern California or anywhere in California, to learn some. And next one is working your colonies. This is another very practical course. It's hybrid. As Wendy mentioned, it's always a pleasure to go in person at the lab, because the food is great. And we're not just saying that. I mean, in the feedback forums, everyone's always talking about it. And that's one of the reasons why I still, I look forward to going to, so I can't deny it.
Yeah.
And so this one's great because you're gonna understand how to do inspections very well after this class. What can you expect to face in terms of pests and diseases? All the different the IPM integrated pest management options that you have. It really goes into the really detail for IPM as well. So anything else on this one, Wendy? I think that's pretty good overview.
No,
Okay.
you got it.
Okay.
You got it. Covered it.
And so last year, a new series was established by Art Ando, which is from South Coast Research and Extension Center, which is a CAMP satellite. And this is the first class in that series. So this is the second year this class is being offered. It's called Pollinator and Plants, What I Need to Know. So this is broader than honeybees. And this is talking about if you want to expand your garden to really support all types of pollinators, what you need to know for that. So the basics of all these different types of pollinators you see on the screen, they're anatomy and what you can do in your garden to support them and how they interact with each other. It's a great class that gives you a lot of hooks, as I like to say, to do more research on your own. So you're probably not going to be, you can't, I mean, maybe you can, but maybe you'll be interested in supporting bats in your backyard. You can take the information from this class and go further. You'll know the basics after this class. So it's great. And now we will move into Wendy's interview with Matt Hetfinger about the Bee Health Hub, and then we will return.
Welcome. Welcome to it is 2024, hard to believe. And to kick us off this exciting new year, we have invited Matt Hopfinger. Am I saying your name correctly?
It's Hepfinger.
Hepfinger. Thank you. And Matt
Ignore the O.
Hepfinger. Yeah. Well, I'm Hope Hep. I'm loving
It
the
it
yeah.
works. I've
It
been called
does.
worse.
Well, Matt's here today with us in our first of the year interview for our camp newsletter to discuss the Bee Health Hub, which is a pretty new and exciting venture with the El Nino Bee Lab. So, Matt, tell us a little bit about the Bee Health Hub, the whys, why is it here, and the what for? What do you do?
Well, sure. That's a big question. Let me see what I can do. The whys. Yeah. Why is there a bee health hub at UC Davis? This is really brand new. Um, and it all came about really, I was an employee for BIP, a field specialist for BIP, which is Bee Informed Partnership. They are non-operational now as of about October of 2023. And I was, matrixed in, always kind of worked for the UC Davis lab, but really reported to BIP. And Dr. Nino has been kind enough to keep myself and Rob Snyder, who we both worked for BIP. Rob goes back over 10 years with Be Informed. I've worked for BIP almost 5 years, but we're trying to pick up, where BIP, left off. And so we, and for BIP, we were field specialists. So what we do is we work with commercial beekeepers. We are in the field and we are checking their bees. We're doing colony health assessments. We're doing lots and lots of mite washes, of course, right? Very important to know your mite levels. We do other things as well. We do a lot of the hygienic testing for queen breeders in Northern California. That's the freeze kill brood test, where you use liquid nitrogen to kill a little patch of brood, and then you put it back in the hive and you see how well do they clean that out. That's hygienic bees, and it's really something that Rob is an expert at, and he can tell you, over the last decade, and this is, coming from BIP data, that we've been able to show that the breeders in Northern California have improved their hygienic trait, and it's really, I do give, BIP and Rob credit for really impacting the industry, and the bees that people get today, yeah, and not just Northern California too. It's everywhere. The freeze kill, that Marla Spivak kind of championed and brought to the breeders. So that's a big part of our job. We do other things like field trials, either for industry or, big orgs like the California State Beekeepers Association. Will have us do miticide trials or, nutritional trials with patties. We're doing one coming up in March where we're looking at cell builders and seeing if feeding a cell builder, a nutritional patty will help with the quality of the queens and measuring the royal jelly and the size of the larva. It's really detailed stuff. But we're in the field taking the samples, and we partner with of course we work with Dr. Alina Nino and other universities as well doing these studies. It's really fascinating work. I feel quite lucky to have been part of BIP, and then now being able to be at the beginning of something new and great as well. The Bee Health Hub at UC Davis. And of course it's got a nice ring to it, the Bee Health Hub.
I
So
agree.
that's always nice. Yeah, did I cover the whys?
Yeah, pretty much. You're
that's
out
the
there,
why.
boots on the ground,
I have the boots
doing
on
the
the
research.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
getting the data. And
Well, and
are you analyzing the
yep.
data?
We'll do some, yeah, we'll do some of that. We like to bring in the experts when we, depending on if we're doing just a small miticide trial for a beekeeper, a lot of times we'll just do a small study, in a beekeeper's yard and compare two different treatment programs. And that analysis is quite easy, but then all the way up to doing these really well-funded studies with hundreds of hives. We want to bring in the experts and have them do the analysis. But yeah, we're kind of a one-stop shop for all kinds of bee health work, and working with mostly commercial people. But yeah, we would work with hobby clubs as well, I think. But yeah, we're the ones in the field, like you said, boots on the ground. We're the ones getting stung, I will say. Right? It's part of it. All right, it's gonna happen. But yeah,
Yeah, my question was, is there
yeah.
a service available for hobbyists? And I think you
Oh,
answered that. So thank you.
sure.
Yeah, volume, I guess, right? If a club decided that they were interested in just assessing the health of their local organization's apiaries, perhaps there would be a way that said club could reach out to you. How would we do that,
Sure.
Matt?
Sure. Yeah. Well, I would first recommend to check out the website, and that's
Mm-hmm.
beehealthhub.ucdavis.edu. That is now live, and you can find our email there, or you can just email beehealthhub@ucdavis.edu. But yeah, check out the website. I think maybe hobby clubs could find us useful. We do provide lab services as well, and what I mean by that is like nosema samples. We will process your samples. You could ship them, bring them into the lab, and we will take a look and give you a report and let you know what your nosema levels are. So that's something that we're trying to do, and we've already processed samples for commercial beekeepers, so we're set up and ready to go. We've got quite a bit of work coming up come February. That's the season where the queen breeders really are starting up, and they've done all their selection throughout the year on their queens, and we'll come in and hygienic test their bees, and they'll do their final selection and start grafting 1st of March, sometimes even sooner. So that's coming up, and that's pretty exciting. Definitely be a busy bee February.
Yes.
So right.
Yeah. Yeah. Almond bloom right through till
Oh gosh, yeah.
after petal fall, right? Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
beekeepers will want us to check their bees and the almonds. Hopefully it's not too muddy this year, right? Last year was quite muddy. Never got stuck with the truck, but was very close. But we'll be in the almonds doing colony health assessments, and yeah, it's gonna be quite busy soon.
Well, would you be open to us inviting you back in, say, April, just so we could get your overall view or review at that point as to how the almond
Oh,
experience went? We'd love to get the download on that if you're open to it.
Sure, I love to talk about we call it the big dance, right?
Yes, yeah.
All the
Good
beekeepers
stuff.
coming to California. Sure,
Yeah, good stuff.
sounds good, Wendy. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your time today, Matt. And we will include the website for the Bee Health Hub in the newsletter for sure.
Okay.
And we invite our members to jump on and check it out. Thanks again
Great.
for your service to science-based beekeeping and honeybee health. Be
Yeah.
well.
Thank you, Wendy. Yeah.
Welcome back. Hope you
Yeah.
enjoyed that interview.
Yes, nothing like a couple of good field specialists in the state of California to keep us beekeepers keeping healthy bees. So we are grateful that UC Davis now has a bee health hub. Yeah, stay tuned for ongoing updates in that regard. And if you're looking for SEMA samples, or maybe you're interested in having some hygienic testing done, you can contact Matt or Rob through the website. Yeah.
I will include the website in the description as well to the Bee Health Hub. As always, we appreciate feedback. This is a community program run by the community. So please, in the description, there's a feedback form. Feel free to fill it out if you have any thoughts or concerns.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without you. So, dear campers, dear members, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And so grateful that you continue to show up for honeybee health and science-based beekeeping. Here's to a really great, prosperous, healthy 2024, right? Yeah.
And with that, be
Be well.
well.